Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
You want to restart it?
Here we go. No, I got it. Okay. All right. So there are 3 people on. If you're on, say hi. Let us know who you are. We are really sorry for being late. So if you guys see me looking down, it's just so that I can look at your comments on my phone, because we have some technology situation going on here so that we can both be on screen together at the same time. So we're not able to actually see Facebook while we are doing this. So if you put your comments, if you have questions, if you have any comments, go ahead and put them into the chat, and we will do our best to monitor all of the comments and respond as quickly as we can. Okay, so it's a little different today because I'm not doing this Facebook Live by myself like I normally do. I have Dr. Jennifer Pierre, affectionately known as Dr. J, with me, and we are going to talk about detoxes, mostly because everyone is doing them right now. Beginning of every year, everyone is committed to being fit, getting healthy, and detoxing is generally the first thing that they do. Dr. J is going to give an overview, she's going to say hi, and she's going to give her medical perspective on what detoxing is. And then we're going to dive into the different types of detoxes and end with our collaboration, our Loving You Detox, and tell you about that and why we hope that you join us. So, Dr. J, I think you might be frozen. Or no, you're not. Nope, you're good. Nope,
I'm
you're good.
trying to who's on with us? Can you
let's see if we have 6 people, but I don't see who it is yet.
Hey, hi 6 people.
Right. Well, come in, say hi.
What I was trying to do is see if I could share it. I'm trying to share it to my
if you go to your page, you should be able to share it.
Yeah. Trying to do it, but it's not giving me an option to do it.
No? All right, so worst case, you can share it after it's over.
Exactly.
Not to do that. Okay. Technology is not always our friend.
No, and we're trying to do like a few different things in this Facebook Live. Hello, everyone. So let's introduce ourselves. Chinyere, you go first since you're technically hosting it on your page.
Well, the folks on my page are probably used to me right now. Like I've been doing Facebook Lives at least twice a month, I think, for the last couple of months. So they know me as Chinyere. They know I'm a health coach, and I work very holistically to help women mostly, but also some men with autoimmune, chronic disease, general weight loss, or just like I have symptoms, I don't know what they are, I don't know what to do with them, but I want to get rid of them type of clients.
And I am Dr. Jennifer Pierre. I'm Chiniere's guest today. Chinyere and I have worked together for quite some time. And we enjoy working together, which is partly why we are doing this Facebook Live today to talk about detoxes and also about our Loving You Detox that we're going to be doing, a 21-day detox. I am a naturopathic doctor, so I treat very holistically. Basically, we are trained as primary care physicians and we treat everything pretty much. We're supposed to be preventative, but nowadays it tends to be reactionary because people come to us, you know, I would say when nothing else works, they're like, you know what, let me try out a naturopathic doctor / holistic doctor / functional medicine doctor. So that's what I do. I practice in Connecticut currently. I'm also licensed in Arizona where I went to medical school. And I love what I do. I love my patients. I also am the medical director of Revive Wellness Center. And also I work at Pro Natural Physicians Group, both in Connecticut. So that's a little bit about me. I also have a background in public health. So I always tell people that is how I'm trained. So that is the primary, that's like the overlying thing that I like to do. I like to protect the health of the public, and naturopathic medicine is just one of those vehicles and how I do it. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about detoxes, and we encourage your questions and any kind of feedback that you have for us.
Absolutely. So Dr. J, why don't you give the medical explanation of what a detox is and shed some light on what I think are some very common misconceptions about detoxing.
So I think when people talk about detoxes, they have gotten really, I think, out of hand, because what people describe as detoxes has become trendy, and it has also become dangerous, because people will do teas, shakes, certain fasts, and they call it a detox. And so I just wanted to talk about what an actual detox is in the body naturally. I think if you talk about the medical community, detoxes are frowned upon overall because of the fact that they can be very dangerous. People just restricting diets and not doing it safely, not having any medical supervision. There's all types of things. I'm going to have Chinyere go into some of the trends later, but the main thing is not doing it safely. So the body has its own detoxification processes that are set up. And this is mainly done in the liver. So the liver has a process known as phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. And in these 2 phases, the first phase is having the body break down any kind of environmental toxins, alcohol, caffeine, all those types of things that we consume, and turning the fat soluble, removing it from the fat soluble to the water soluble. So that next stage, once it gets to that point, it's to be excreted out of the body through the kidneys and those sorts of things. So the body already has a process in place to perform detoxification. And what the body hopes is that we give it the nutrients for those different phases. And some of those things are different nutrients, particularly B vitamins. There's glutathione, if you've heard about that. So when someone is doing a liver detox, many times they may be taking a supplement that is promoting detoxification, and it may have things like herbs like milk thistle, folic acid, these types of things that the body needs to perform this detoxification process. So what we're focused on in this detox is eating the foods that are going to be promoting detoxification, as opposed to taking a bunch of supplements, as opposed to drinking these teas that are promoted, and even some of the nutraceutical companies that approach me many times as a functional medicine physician, buying these shakes and encouraging my patients to take these shakes. And while I have nothing, against these types of shakes and products, what we're trying to do is teach people how to eat properly. That is the foundation of what your body needs. Like, in our detox program, we're going to be focused on foods, particularly cruciferous vegetables, because they have nutrients, antioxidants, sulfur byproducts that help detoxify the liver. So that's just one example. And overall, the detox is also going to be we're focusing on all facets of healing. It's not just the foods that you eat. It's also the environmental toxins that you may be exposed to. It may be even if someone is toxic in your life, we're going to be talking about emotional causes that may prevent detoxification. Yes. So, and the reason why we're focusing on all these things, you may or may not know, one of my background also includes mental health counseling. And not that I'm going to be counseling anyone, but as a result of my background and experiences, it has made me someone who's very sensitive to that, and understanding that my patients will not get better if we don't address those issues. So, any of my patients know I'm very big on self-care. I'm also, it's just a big priority for me. So that's going to be part of the detox as well.
Yes.
So that's kind of like an overview of what the body does. So if you have a physician that kind of frowns on detoxification, I think there needs to be a clarification of what that really is. And if we break it down to the biochemical reaction that happens in the body, you really can't dispute that there's a detoxification process that's going on. That's just what the body does. And what we need to do is encourage the process, not with a fad detox, but actually eating whole foods that are going to promote the process.
Yes.
So that's just an overview.
You basically summed it all up. I mean, I think the difference between, and I'll speak from my own personal experience. Before I became a coach, I was one of those fad detoxers. The first time I did a 7-day juice cleanse where I drank nothing but juices all day for 7 days. And it was hard. It was hard, right? Like not chewing food, not eating real food was hard. And what I didn't know at the time was that while I was pumping my body full of vitamins and minerals, right? Like you juice enough kale and cucumbers and apples, you will get tons of vitamin A and, chlorophyll and all those other good things. I was also serving up a huge side of sugar. Because when you remove the fiber from the fruits and the vegetables, you're left with a lot of sugar. So for 7 days, I was causing my blood sugar to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And I felt horrible. Well, I didn't feel horrible, but I definitely wasn't like super energetic. And I spent the majority of those 7 days waiting for the end of it so that I can eat real food. That was the first time I noticed how many food commercials there were in a day because I was working from home at the time. And so the TV was on and it was like every other commercial was a commercial about food. And all I did was at the end of those 7 days, I basically binged on all the things that I couldn't eat before. So then I had the nerve to go and do it again. And this time I did 2 weeks of the same juice cleanse because I figured I didn't really get the results I wanted the first time because it wasn't long enough. So let me go and do this again, and I'll do it 2 weeks this time. And I should really lose the weight that I had been having a really hard time losing. I should really, I was expecting this huge amount of weight loss. I was expecting my energy, which was in a major deficit at the time. I was expecting that to get better. And so I did this juice cleanse again for 2 weeks. And at the end of 2 weeks, I basically felt the same that I had the first time. I did lose a little weight, right? But it was mostly water weight. And it came back within a couple of days. This time I didn't binge. I just went back to eating normal. And yet, like I said, the weight that I thought I had lost for good came back because in hindsight, it really wasn't weight loss at all. It was water loss, which happens when you don't really eat food for 2 weeks. And so fast forward to once I started nutrition school and really understanding about detoxification, that phase 1 and phase 2 that you talked about, and how food actually heals, I went on a different type of detox. And that detox was all about vegetables, low glycemic fruit, lean protein, and healthy fats. And that is when not only did I finally lose the weight that I had been having a really hard time losing, my energy definitely came back and it hasn't gone since. My acne cleared up, like so many things fell into place because I was literally giving my body what it was longing for. I removed the things that were bad, right? So I had been eating a lot of sugar and a lot of breads and pastas and all of those things, drinking a lot of alcohol. I was really stressed out in general, mostly about how shitty I was feeling and the fact that I couldn't get better. The second thing I was stressed out about was the job that I hated that I didn't see a way out of. And so getting physically better, feeling more energetic, feeling more clarity in my head allowed me to then look at how do I change the other parts of my life that are not working? How do I get out of this job that is sucking the soul out of me? And so what I would say is the right detox can actually change everything in your life. It can change the way you look at the people in your life. It can change the activities and the habits and the patterns that you've developed. And it can actually lead to a new career the way that it did for me, all because you start feeling better, you have more energy, you have more clarity, you're mentally calm, and all of that, promotes creativity. It's really hard to think outside of the box and look at all of your options if you're stressed out, if you're tired, if you feel unattractive and overweight and sluggish. How are you supposed to excel, right, in any area of your life when that's how you feel? And so the whole foods-based detox, and I've seen it time and time again with my clients, just about every single one of my clients that I've worked with for the past 5 years have gone through some form of a detox. And the results are always, they're predictable at this point. I know if they show up and they do the work, they will get the results. It's just, that's just how it is. Like our bodies are, and you can probably attest to this, our bodies are always looking for homeostasis, right? They're always looking to get back in balance. So when we remove the things that prevent that balance and we give it more of the things that promote that balance, of course, it's going to work its way back into its natural balance, its natural rhythm. And so at this point, it's like I said, it's predictable. I know if they show up, if they do the work, if they eat the foods and we work on the mental emotional stuff, they will get the results that they're looking for. There's just, I like to say, like, there's no other option.
And so let's talk a little bit about the showing up part, because I think when someone considers making dietary changes, lifestyle changes, they may not be ready to do it at a particular time because of the mental, emotional things that they have going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important to look at that and see where you are. And you do have to show up. And sometimes people aren't ready to. I've been telling everyone that I'm reading this book right now called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And the reason why I love that book is because it talks about when you're looking to make a change in the direction of starting a new habit, focus on one particular thing. Yes. And everything else will fall into place. So let's say it's, you want to start going to the gym. You have to kind of focus on that part, not, okay, so I'm going to change my diet, do this, do that. Sometimes that can go along with it, but your main focus is going to the gym. So what can I do to decrease the likelihood that I won't go? So maybe I might put on my workout clothes before I go to bed. Maybe I might get more sleep so I can wake up and go to the gym. And then, obviously you're going to make other lifestyle changes surrounding the gym. You may start to change your diet, eating better food to have more energy to go to the gym. But that's the main focus because it's so hard to start a new habit. And that's pretty much why we're trying, we're doing this program. It's 21 days. And it's been seen that 21 days is the time you need to start a new habit.
Yes.
So many people who may be interested in this program may be starting something totally new. You may be very nervous about starting a new program, but it's the intention and it's the showing up part that is really important. This is not set up to be something where we just throw materials at you and you just do it. We're here obviously to support you, and we're used to doing that because both of our mutual professions, but it is meant for you to show up because you're looking to make this change in yourself, and this is the best environment to make that change occur.
Absolutely. I mean, I see with my, in my private practice with my one-on-one clients, sometimes we do have to start with removing some of the outer challenges before they can start the detox portion. So it's getting them used to setting up boundaries, right? So you're going to leave work on time for the next week, right? So that you can start to create that space so that you can come home and you get, right, you're still at work. But you're right. I mean, sometimes we have to work from the outside in first, right? And then the support is crucial, right? Because so many times, like, you feel like, and I know I did when I was doing those detoxes, I thought I was doing the right thing. I just didn't know any better. Because if you go online, everyone's telling you to do this detox and take these pills and drink this tea, and they got the pictures, the before and the after, and they talk about how great they feel and the results they've gotten. You're like, oh my God, yes, of course I'm going to do that. But it's having the right support that lets you know you might get some short-term results, but here's what you're doing to your body in the meantime. And this is why those results won't last, right? And then having someone point you in the right direction. So to what Dr. J was saying, this is not we're going to send you a bunch of material and you go have it by yourself. Along with this Loving You Detox, you get both she and I for 3 calls, right? There's a kickoff call, there's a check-in call in the middle, and there's a call at the end. Both her and I time, right? Like that's expensive time. She's a medical director, right? This is expensive time that you're getting as part of this program. In addition to that, there's a Facebook group where each of us will be every day checking in. So you can post your questions, you can post your comments, you can post your successes and your challenges, right? Part of this is helping you develop a community to support you through this program. Something else that is really, really necessary and key to making these kinds of programs successful is feeling like you're not doing this alone, knowing that someone else is having the same caffeine withdrawal, someone else is having the same sugar cravings, and trying to find, healthy alternatives to those things at the same time you are, and being in a community where you can support one another. So there's the calls that you'll have, both Dr. J and I. There's the Facebook group that we'll be popping into daily to respond to questions, provide additional encouragement, etc. There's a weekly email that you'll get just to keep you on track and to keep you focused on what's for the week ahead and what you need to do. And of course, then you get the actual materials, what recipes, what foods, why. There's a whole booklet on more detail on gut health and additional ways outside of food that you can detox. There's things that we can do every day that don't have anything to do with what we put into our mouth that also allow our bodies to detox, our minds to detox. And so we'll be sharing that with you as well. Mm-hmm. So I will post the link to the Loving You Detox in the comments. So anyone that wants to check it out, we get started on Monday, February 11th. So you have a couple days to make your decision. Yes, we made this a very short time frame because it should be if you're not feeling well, if you've been wanting to lose weight, you've been promising yourself that in 2019, you're going to start getting healthier, you're going to start taking better care of yourself. This should be a no-brainer, to be completely honest. Dr. J, you have any other?
I agree.
Yes. I'm going to pop this.
No, seriously. I made this comment before that on one of my posts, hold on, my internet connection is acting up. So I made this comment on the post that this is the reason, this price pretty low. We're doing this on purpose because we just want to draw attention to this. We love what we do. We love supporting people. We like seeing changes in patients and clients. So we wanted to open this up. I've never done something this, on such a wide scale before and invited so many people. It's kind of like a piece of what I do with my patients. I would say this is a lot more than I can actually do with them, but I do discuss diet. I have to discuss diet. I have to talk about dietary changes. And, it's a big part of health. And what's concerning for both of us, I think, is there's so many people out there with no education, no background in this area, and they're talking about things that are dangerous, that are not supportive, and people are jumping on fads, and it's dangerous. So if you listen to the radio show that we did, what was it, a few weeks ago now? Oh my God.
The 19th, January.
Yeah. So I do a local radio show, and I had Chinyere on as my guest, and we talked about these different diets that people are trying and trying to decide whether it should work for them. And we talked about the pros and cons. And I just feel like a lot of people are out there just trying to figure things out with no support. And unfortunately, they can't have some of these conversations with their physicians because their physicians aren't trained in these areas. Unless for most medical, doctors, unless you've gone out and done some more education or have a background in nutrition, this is not an area that can be discussed. So usually you're sent off to a nutritionist. And unfortunately, a lot of nutritionists might not know this area as either, unless they're a functional medicine nutritionist, because it takes some more education to kind of learn about these things and what's dangerous, and what's good and what's not. And I don't think it's effective to just say they're all bad, because that's not the case. So absolutely, that's why we're passionate about this. That's why we're doing it. like Chinyere said, this is a no-brainer. It's a perfect opportunity to try something new, make a change for yourself, commit to yourself, put yourself first. I have a lot of female patients that are put everyone else before themselves, and then they're, upset about weight gain or, thyroid disease, or, you name it, it's related to diet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that also I can get some of my patients on this, because every time they come in with a visit with me, it's like, okay, time's that we gotta go. And they enjoy talking about this and they enjoy the information, but there just isn't enough time. So you're going to get so much time in this with both of us who, yes, we are experts in this area, where you can just pick our brains, ask questions, and get the support throughout the program.
Absolutely. So we've been going for about a half an hour at this point. If there are any questions, type them into the comments and we will tackle them. I'm going to just check my personal page and see if there are any comments there that we need to respond to. I don't see any questions. I don't see any comments. So if you guys don't have any questions or have any comments, that is fine. We will, this replay will be here. So if you're watching the replay and you find, and you have questions or comments, then you can drop your questions in the comments under the replay and we will respond back to you. But the link is there. I'm not sure if it's working, so I might have to fix it when I end this. I'll put the proper link into the comments so that you guys can have this and check out the detox, the Loving You Detox. Like we said, it starts on February 11th. We go for 21 days. You will be fully supported and fully educated. You won't ever look at a detox or a cleanse again the same way. We promise you that. If you do this whole foods detox, and you really commit and show up, the results will speak for themselves. And the next time someone asks you to do a juice cleanse or like take a bunch of like detox teas, you're going to look at them like they're crazy, because you will know better. You will absolutely know better.
And it honestly just sets the foundation for how you should be eating. I do not make it a secret that I believe in plant-based diets. That does not mean that you need to be a vegetarian or vegan. A lot of people ask me that question. No, you do not. But if you do not focus a lot of your diet on plants, you are going to have some issues and concerns. There are just too many nutrients and antioxidants and all that good stuff that are in plants. And, this detox is not necessarily easy, but it's doable. But it is going to require a change as far as how you perceive diet and how you look at diet. It's not a fad diet, but it's making those changes that are going to support your body and support you in the future. Just setting up how you're going to eat and what's going to be healthy overall.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback really quickly on what you said about the food part. So what I love best about these types of whole food detoxes is that you literally learn how to eat, right? One of the things that those teas and the shakes and the pills types of detoxes, or a lot of those fad diets, they don't really teach you, like Weight Watchers, I don't really think teaches you how to eat. When I was doing the juice cleanses, I didn't learn anything other than how to starve myself with drinking just juices all day. I didn't learn about what foods work for my body, what foods actually make me feel more energetic, or what foods actually make me feel tired, what foods make me feel bloated, what foods may cause or contribute to constipation. I didn't learn any of that doing those programs. The minute I did a whole foods detox, I was able to start to suss that out. I was able to realize, if I ate too many eggs, then my skin would break out and I would feel a little itchy. My clients have figured out things like they love cashews, but when they eat a lot of cashews, they will break out. They learn that the food that makes them feel joint pain happens to be red bell peppers, right? Mm-hmm. You would never figure those things out if you weren't A, in your own kitchen cooking your food, and B, being guided in a way that allows you to stop and teaches you to stop and notice what your body is actually trying to communicate with you. earlier today, I posted a picture of a salad that I was having with a piece of salmon. And I've been having a lot of salads lately. And I know it's because my body is craving them. Like no one sits here and like ever daydreams about a salad, but that's what I had been doing. And so I was like, all right, time to get a salad. And it's just stopping to realize like that's my body's way of saying, we need some more vegetables. We need some fresh vegetables. And the minute I started eating these salads a couple of days ago, I feel better. The cravings are gone. And, it's just one of the things that you'll learn in this program is how to listen to your body and how to give it what it needs, how to interpret what it's telling you so that you can give your body what you need. And that you're not going to get from a detox that you buy off of, off the shelf, or, you pick up and do it on your own. So just want to throw that in there because that part is actually transferable to, life after the detox.
I think that's a great point as well, because one of the questions that I think people have is, how do you know when you should do a detox? What are some of the symptoms that you'll notice? So some of those things may be digestive issues that may be happening. Also changes in your skin if you are getting rashes and acne, and those are really big signs. If you're having constipation, a detox might be a good idea for you. Our bowels should be moving every day. And if they're not, that's a problem, because that means that all those toxins that you're exposed to are just recirculating into your body. And that's never a good thing. So those are just some of the signs of, knowing that you need to do some sort of detox. And even if you don't do anything that's as organized as this, even just taking a break, like Chinyere just mentioned it, eating more salads compared to your typical diet, allowing your body to kind of heal and not have to process a lot of the heavy carbohydrates and the meat that I would say most Americans are constantly eating, just eating those things over and over and over again. It does take a lot for the body to break those things down. And no, it's definitely possible. The body is capable of breaking those foods down, but over time, it is taxing on the system. So just giving your body a break and allowing, it to heal and, do that. So, like I said before, just having a fresh foundation is always something helpful to do. And I also wanted to mention something else before I forget. We kind of mention emotional aspects. I wanted to also mention spiritual. And no matter what your actual faith is, some people are familiar with doing fasts for a spiritual reason, maybe like a religious fast, or some people I know are very familiar with like a Daniel fast and restricting their diet in certain ways to get closer to God or the higher power, or whatever that is. If you think about it, doing a detox clears out room for some of those things. You heard Chinyere mention about her own personal experience, career. So pursuing a detox like this will, tap into those areas, because it's challenging those resources, those reserves that they're going to be played around. They're going to be tapped a little bit, because you have no choice to process, this experience. Like you have to mentally process what's happening. So, I just wanted to mention that is something that may come up for people. And, maybe some people don't want to deal with that, but I believe that that's always a positive thing, because one of my passions is seeing people pursue their purpose in life. And I believe that is very much connected to health, because if you're not happy in your career, your health usually winds up suffering in some way. So I think that's also another benefit in doing something like this, and worth mentioning.
Yep, absolutely. The last thing I'll mention that came up to me while you were speaking is, as you do detoxes, right, as you are actually detoxing, you could experience some symptoms, right? Sometimes
Yes.
sometimes it's very common to feel a little bit more bloated in the first couple days, to have a caffeine withdrawal or sugar withdrawal,
Oh, yeah.
or, to feel a little bit more constipated for the first couple days. And if you are doing this by yourself, you may not know what to do to fix those things, to address those things. And so you have two options. Either you will sit and suffer through it, and then it'll be the worst detox you've ever experienced, right? And you won't ever want to do another one, or you'll stop and you'll go back to how you were. This time, if you do a program like this with both Dr. J and I, we will be here to be able to walk you through how to get past those things so that you don't have to suffer through them for the entire 21 days, and you don't have the inclination to stop, because we are going to be able to help you get through them. So there was another question. So
yeah, I see some questions here. I finally, if you saw me looking down a lot during this, it's because I was trying to share this to my doctor page, and I was having a lot of issues with that because I wanted to encourage more questions. Oh, also feel free to share this.
Yes,
I guess we can stay on a little longer because we have the technical difficulties, but yeah, I'd like to go through some of the questions. You can see them here, and no, I'm going to have you set it off because I'm still trying to make sure my technology is okay. So I'm just following along with it. I see it because I'm just excited that I finally can see what's going on here. So
you are hilarious. So we had a question from Renee about doing the detox if they have to avoid seeds because they have diverticulitis. So I responded and said, yes, you can totally avoid seeds and still do this detox because there are other options.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to just choose seeds.
Yeah, so not to get into too much medical advice because I'm not your physician, but that is definitely recommended for someone who has diverticulitis. So do not change that for any reason whatsoever. Chinyere mentioned in the promotional materials that, if you have an allergy or you have an issue with certain foods, please do continue avoiding those things.
Absolutely.
For your health.
Absolutely.
Great question though.
So her follow-up question was, what can she replace to get the same benefit? So if she can't have chia seeds or flax seeds, what can she replace to get the same, like healthy fat, fiber, and protein? And I would say, have more avocados. That'll help you with that'll help you with the protein. Well, that'll help you with the fat and the fiber. There's tons of other options for protein. So one thing I did want to clarify, on this detox, you have the option of doing it as a vegetarian if that's what you choose for either the entire 21 days, or you can take 7 days out of that and do vegetarian if that's what you want to do. It is not required though. I just wanted to, for the carnivores out there who might be considering this, but then thinking that they have to be a vegetarian for 21 days, you don't.
No!
It's an option, right? We made this flexible so that you can go as hard as you want, right? For someone who's been thinking about maybe being a vegetarian and trying it out, this will be a great opportunity. But it is all inclusive in that you can be an omnivore, a carnivore, or a vegetarian, vegan, and you will survive happily. The other thing is, if you are hungry on this program, you are doing it wrong. Let me be straight up honest with you. You're doing it wrong. You still have in your head that you have to cut calories in order for something to work. That is not true on this program, because it's basically plants and lean protein and healthy fats. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to restrict yourself to tiny, tiny, super tiny portions, so tiny that you can barely see them on the plate. You can eat just about, I won't say any amount, but when it comes to fruits and vegetables, like, there's a lot of leeway there.
I always say you can, because I'm like, who gets fat off of vegetables? Like, it just doesn't.
Well, you can if you're
potatoes. Huh?
Well, you can. You can if you eat a lot of vegetables with like cheese and cream
and
like
a bunch of white potato.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good clarification. Good catch. Otherwise, like, you're not getting fat off of greens. That's
or
not
asparagus
so many
or any of that.
Yeah, when I speak to patients, they're so afraid sometimes, and I'm like, double your portion of greens on your plate. When you're eating a plant-based diet, the reason why people are hungry is because they're not eating enough vegetables.
Exactly.
If you double that portion, you won't be hungry.
I agree. I literally had to tell my client that the other day. I was like, she sent me a picture of her. She was like, I'm always so hungry. So I was like, all right, send me a picture of your plate. Let me just see how much you're eating. And I looked at it and I was like, what are you, 2? I was like, no, you need to double that. Like, again, I think people get in their head that they're detoxing. And so that means restriction, right? That means limitation. And what we are here to both tell you is that that is not the case when you do a program like this. Again, if you are hungry, you are doing it wrong. I tell my clients that all the time. If you're hungry, you're doing it wrong. You're simply just not eating enough, and that's very fixable. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to worry about that. You won't have to worry about starving. If you do have some negative symptoms, we are here to guide you through it. The first couple of days of the detox, I want to add, is a prep phase. So you get to ease into it. We start on the 11th, and the first 5 days are your opportunity to slowly cut back on some of the things that you're going to be cutting out for the remainder of the detox. So that also helps with any anxiety you might be having about starting. It is not a Saturday you're eating whatever you want, and then, or Sunday you're eating whatever you want, and on Monday we start, going hard. You do get to ease yourself into it. And the materials are ready for you now. So if you sign up today, you can actually have the entire week to prepare, read over the materials, get ready, get prepared, get your recipes picked out, do your shopping, do your prep, so that on Sunday or on Monday next week, you are ready to go.
Yeah.
We tried to make this as easy as possible in all kinds of different ways. Financially easy, physically easy for you to do and to adhere to. And then to feel supported and have the accountability, because we are going to be holding you accountable to sticking to it, so that, at the end of these 21 days, you actually have a really good experience. I don't see any other questions on this page. I don't know if you have any on your page, Dr. J, that we need to address.
No, I just see something about sugars. I see something about sugars here.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
She wrote that when I was talking about the juicing and how when you just do juicing, you get a lot of sugars.
Got it.
I'm not sure. Belle, if you have any, if you have a specific question about the juicing or the sugars, Belle, you can go ahead and type that into the comments and we will respond to that. But if there are, we'll give that a minute. But I did post the link. So I posted it as myself, Chinyere Williams, and I posted it as Helping Bodies Heal as well. So feel free to go to the page, check it out, join us. It's going to be fun. As you can see, we're a lot of fun. And you won't regret it. You definitely won't.
And we have fun together too.
We do. We totally do. Like my mom was actually laughing at us the other day because we were on the phone for like 3 hours until like 1 o'clock in the morning. She was like, all I did was hear you laughing. Yeah. And I was like, I was actually working, but I was laughing too. We were having a good time.
Yeah. And if you have not seen, or I should say heard, the radio show where we were talking about the different diets, please go check that out. That was a blast. It was so much fun. It'll give you an idea of what to expect with us. Absolutely. And our synergy, and why we like collaborating, and how this kind of sprung out, as a result of the time we've been working together with patients. Yep. So that'll be good. And since I know most of the people are on your page, Chinyere, if you guys want to check me out, I'm on Facebook at Dr. Jennifer Pierre. I'm on Instagram at DRJ Pierre. So, you can check me out, check out the website so you can get an idea of what I'm about as well.
Yes.
And for those of you who are, it's streaming on my page now, I finally got it to work. So you are now able to meet Chinyere and understand why I love working with her.
Yay. Awesome. I will post a link to I will post a link to your page in the comments as well. That way people can just click on it. Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. So I think we've answered them all. Thanks, Miss James. That's my sister's mother-in-law, like my other mother. She's the best.
Hi, Miss Jackie James. Yes.
She's awesome.
Have great energy. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, we're going to let you go. I will post a link to Dr. J's Facebook page here when I get done with this. Check her out. If you have any questions, if you're watching the replay and have questions later, feel free to either comment on my page, comment on her page, send me a private message, whatever works for you. We will definitely get back to you. We hope to see you in the program. Again, we start on Monday. Watch the replay to understand what you're going to get out of this awesome program, and understand that when we run this again, it will be a little different. Just letting y'all know. If you want it for a steal, you'll want to do it now, because the next time, I think we understand a little bit more the value of all that we are giving, and the investment next time will reflect that. So if you want to get in, on the low, now's your opportunity.
Low.
Yes. Yes. All right. I don't see any other questions, so we will let you guys go. Dr. J, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I'll be talking to you probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are so excited about this. We're excited to meet you if we haven't met you individually. And this is sign up. It's gonna be great.
Oh, by the way, we actually already have some people who have signed up already. So, seats are filling up. Get yours while you can. I'm going to go eat now because I'm starving and I'm getting a little delirious.
And I'm going to go home.
Yes, you should do that. All right, guys, it's been fun. I will see you at the next Facebook Live. You guys have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye for now.